Hey folks, this is Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy of GroovyMusicLessons.com, here with the trailer, or if you've already bought it, the actual intro to the video, beginner bass guitar. This one here is for people who have never even seen a guitar before, or a bass guitar. Okay, some of you might even actually be using the four low strings on a regular guitar to get by until you decide if you want to learn how to play bass or not. Okay, well that's my job. I'm the best teacher in the world. Am I the best player? No. I'm close. No. I am an amazing teacher for people who enjoy being around a goofball like me, but who actually gets you through it all without being so stupidly serious and making you read a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to make you read anything. You don't have to learn to read music or tabs or anything else. You're like, what are you talking about? Put it this way, I make it very easy. I make it so that you can actually learn the stuff and you can go out and learn the songs by yourself quicker than anybody else can. How can I make these claims? Because I've been doing it forever. Check my references, check my eBay feedback, check the feedback on my website, and anybody who has anything negative to say about the way I teach is just a disgruntled teacher who is jealous. So let's prove all this by making you the best bass player you can be in 1/10 of the time than anybody else can get you there. Okay, I'm going to teach you, of course, the normal stuff, how to tune your bass. Don't you dare show up to anything without a tuner of at least some sort, some little cheap $15 thing like this, or an app on your phone, or on your computer, whatever. As long as we can get in tune, I'll show you how to do that. Real quick, we'll go through all the notes, and you'll learn those quickly, because I'll just tell you what they are, and then you'll review on your own, and then we'll actually get to learning how to play. What are we going to play? We're going to play what it takes for you to actually start jamming by yourself, and actually to start figuring out songs by yourself. On the first lesson, it's a 2-hour lesson. What can you learn in 2 hours? You'll be surprised. Okay? So let's just say that I will teach you how to play country. And don't you dare run, because you need it. It is the fundamentals of stuff. You have to learn to play with the kick drum. So I will teach you how to hear the drum parts. Here's the drum part. I will teach you how to. You know, that kind of stuff too. Okay? So we will rock, we will metal, we will country, we will bluegrass, we will do blues, we will do everything but just show you how to do this. And you can grab drum tracks from me. I have them available. $4 you get 60 custom drum tracks I made. You can go download those, or you can just go get your own off the internet, play along with them, or just learn to play with songs. I will teach you how to learn them without wasting your time teaching you a bunch of songs that you would never want to play in your life. Okay, so that's my big thing. I'm a kind of like a famous book once said, I am a fisher of men. I will teach you how to fish, and therefore you will be able to do this on your own. Okay, once again, Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy they call me, here at GroovyMusicLessons.com. Tons of free lessons here too, if you just want to check it out. And tons more bass lessons for you. Tons more coming. Why? It's what I do. And soon it'll be what you do. So whether you want to be a casual player around the house, out on the front porch with your buddies, with your friends throughout the summer, or if you want to be on the big stage, hey, it's all the same. Everybody has to learn. Thing is, I'm going to get you there better. I'm going to get you there faster. Okay? So jump aboard and let's knock this thing out of the park. Hey, welcome aboard, folks. Once again, my name's Scott, or Dr. Groovy, whatever you want to call me. Hey, I know what you just called me, and that's fine too. Trust me, I've been called worse. Anyway, first thing, we got to get all this little peddly stuff, piddly, depends on where you're from, I guess, or if I even know how to speak. We're going to teach you, meaning me and the bass, are going to teach you all the parts of the bass first, and just so you know what the heck I'm talking about when I'm throwing terms at you. Okay, so there are terms that you're going to be using the rest of your life. Why? Because I know you're not going to give up on this instrument. Why? Because you're just not going to suck. Okay, I'm going to teach you to be wonderful and amazing. Okay, so my particular bass, I've got tons of them around. You can see them on my site in different lessons, blah, blah, blah. Reason I'm using this particular one, it's got dots or fret markers on it. A lot of my other ones just don't have any. Okay, what do you mean they don't have any? Okay, these are actually called position markers or fret markers, meaning these are called frets. These metal pieces that go across, okay, those are usually steel or made out of nickel and steel. Okay, these are fret markers, so they're between the frets, usually between every other one, but there is a point where it jumps from the ninth, and then you skip two and there's nothing, and then all of a sudden you're generally going to find two of them up here on the 12th fret. What in the world is that? And then it skips two more, and then they start going every other one again. Okay, I will explain that. What happens, again, they are just simply position markers to let you know where they're at, or where you're at. On the side of your bass, you'll see the dots again. Okay, see them on the side? As long as you have them on the side of your neck, this is the neck, it's not called a handle. I know many ladies, for some reason, call this a handle. This is a neck. Think of this as a person, or a, guys, think of it as a woman. That's what we generally do. We're like, this is the body, because it is the body. This is the neck, long neck. And there's the head, or the head stock, whichever way you want to call it. Okay? So that's what it is. And you got the butt all the way down here. So that's your butt, that's your body, that's your neck, and that's your head. Just like a person. Okay? So frets, here. If I say first fret, that means that's the first fret, that's second fret. Third fret has a dot on it. Fourth don't. Fifth does. So it's every other one. Some of them have them on the first fret, some don't. So 3, 5, 7, 9 will all have fret markers. Okay? If they're not on the front of your bass, that's fine. You can see them on the side. That's why they're there. If you look and hold your bass actually straight down, and you're looking down onto it like this, okay, like I would be, I see them up here. So I don't need to look at the front of my neck to see those dots or blocks or position markers or birds or whatever you have on the front of yours. Some people go all out and put all kinds of designs on there, so you better have some dots on the side. Okay, so if I say go to the 5th fret, it's really easy after a while because you know that these are all on the odd number of frets, except for at the 12th fret where you have 2 dots or something special inlaid on there, I'm sure. But on the side, it will always be 2 dots. Okay, 5th fret, bang, it's just my second dot. Because I know I got one here at 3, 5, 7, 9. I can see the dots on the side. So I will call them dots, I will call them fret markers, I will call them position markers. You call them one of the same. Then we can go all the way up to 12. Then it starts again at 15. Now what actually happens up here, you have to pay attention. And I'm going to, again, do this for 2 hours. Not this, we'll get way past this. But the bass actually starts over again at the 12th fret. What does that mean? What this means is all the notes that have been played all the way up to here, to the 11th fret, are all different. They all have different names. I'll teach them all to you. And it's much easier than it seems. Everything is after you learn it, isn't it? But once you hit the double dots or the 12th fret, the whole thing starts over again. So it's like, okay, we'll go up to 3. Okay, so like this is the beginning again. Way up here. By the way, right here where the strings go across, that piece of material, yours might be brass, or it might be white, or it might be black, or it might be chrome, or whatever. That's called a nut. Yes, I know. Yes, it's a nut. N-U-T. Everything does start over, so it's like you have another nut right here at the 12th fret. Then 1, 2, 3. Hey, there's a dot. 5, there's another dot, another dot, another dot, then you skip, and so forth. So all the notes, like say at this first dot is actually your 3rd fret, or your third fret is your first position marker, or your fret marker. Okay, if you go to the 12th and go past it to your first dot, whatever note that is, and I'll show you how to play these, don't worry about it. It's going to be the same note if you start over and then go up to your next position marker, like 1, 2, 3, like we were at the nut, open. Open means you don't have anything on there. You're not touching the bass, or you're just holding it up, but you're just playing a string. So 1, 2, 3 frets, so on the 3rd fret. If we were to start up here and pretend that 12th fret is your nut and it starts over, which is what it is, and what it does, it starts over, and you go up to that first position marker again. 1, 2, 3. That note and this note are going to be the same note, and they are. So you only have to learn half of the instrument. Then it just repeats itself in this little bitty area. You notice how all these frets get a lot closer to each other up here. Okay? It's just the way mathematically everything works out. And then of course they're further away and harder to get to way down here, but that's where we're going to be playing at. Okay, we will get up here, and I want you to get up there and experiment on your own. Okay, but I'll show you how to do all this. Okay, so we know we have a nut, we have frets, we have fret markers, everything starts again at the 12th fret, and then one more fret markers, so lots of frets. Okay, I will go over every bit of this. Don't think that you're getting behind in any way, shape, or form. What you have right here, and yours will be different. Every bass is different, and these will factor into what you want your bass to sound like. Okay, these things, and there's another one down here, these are called pickups. These are simply what picks up the sound. All that is behind there is a magnet with a whole bunch of copper wire around it, wound around there about 10,000 times, 20,000 times, and that's honestly what picks up the sound of your strings. It's as simple as that, nothing else. And then you will have some knobs. One will be for volume, and I can tell you right away, start with your volume on your instrument. Start with every knob on your instrument wide open, all the way as high as it'll go, and then adjust the sound on your amplifier to sound good to you. Okay? Because if you do this, and this one's your tone knob, this will actually take, if you guys know what treble is, or your highs, and that will shut them off and turn it so that everything just sounds like bass. And you're like, well, I'm playing a bass, so shouldn't I have nothing but bass going? No. Reason being, okay, I just played 5 or 6 different notes, but you couldn't distinguish one note from another. So if I turn that sucker back wide open and just give the bass clarity. Now if I play, that's what I played a minute ago with that knob all the way down. See, you still have all the bass, but now you have highs too and mid-range. So it's just like if you guys have ever experienced an equalizer, lows, mids, and highs, same thing. So make it nice and even, and then you can learn about it later on just by messing with your amp. But I strongly suggest you leave everything on your instrument wide open for now. Just a little thing to let you know that when you do turn the volume backward a little bit, anything less than full, it will take some of the treble away, okay, or the high end. It will make your bass mushier or less intelligent sounding. No, it won't make it sound dumb, less intelligent. It'll just make it, you know, the things just aren't as clear, okay? You may have a switch. If it's in the middle, and you do have 2 sets of pickups, I know this looks like, a lot of you may have a pickup like this. That's actually just split. This is actually just one pickup. They are like this to try to make each other quiet. It's what is called hum canceling. One on by itself via the switch, and it will buzz more than if they are all put together. So you may just have one of these, you may have two sets of pickups, you might have, yours might be way up here. It doesn't matter, they're all over the place, but yes, they do make a huge difference in sound. Where the pickups are placed at, if the closer to the neck the pickup is, the more bass it will have and the less treble it will have. Okay, they put a set right here. Fender Precision basses and so forth will have just those right there. So that gives what is called, it's not a mud bass, but it's just a very flat sounding, normal 1950s sounding thing, where it is intended to sound more like an upright bass, meaning that great big tall thing, yeah. The reason they put the other pickup back here by what is called the bridge, this here has a bridge cover, but underneath there it looks just like yours does. Has what's called saddles under there, while each string goes across, and you can see those underneath there. This one particular bass just has one to cover it up, and I think it's kind of a cool thing. So the closer your pickup gets to the saddle, the more treble that will be in there. So therefore, if you have this one here that has a lot of bass in it, and you have this one that has a lot of treble, they equalize each other out, they balance each other out. So that was thought of later on as the decades went by, and everybody's like, hey, that really makes a lot brighter, crisper sound, and you can actually hear what's going on, and it's great for that kind of thing, so you can actually really hear the pop and the funk and all that stuff. Okay, so that's what you get. So you'll notice, again, closer to the neck. So if you go out and buy a different bass for whatever reason, this will make sense. If your pickups are closer to the neck here, it's going to be really bassy sounding and not really clear sounding. The closer it gets to the bridge, the more treble it is going to have, and the more you're going to be able to pick out your notes. If I use only that pickup via this switch, all the bass is pretty much gone. So I have to mix it with this one by putting that selector, which selects either this one or that one or both of them. Okay, so now I've got all that going on. If I turn on just these, I don't have the crispiness of this one added in. Okay, so that's what's going on. So the position of your pickup does make a lot of difference. Okay, so we basically have all the parts. Frets, there's your bridge is underneath there. The saddles are the individual pieces that the strings go over top of. Okay, volume knobs, tone knobs, they'll all have them. Leave them wide open. Adjust the sound on your amplifier first. Frets, fret markers, the neck, the head, or the headstock, which you'll probably want to refer to it as the headstock, the nut. Okay, here's a truss rod cover. Most of your basses, well, every bass will have a truss rod inside of it, and it will either be right here with a cover on it, or you'll have to take the neck off and try to adjust it right here. Yeah, that's what I said. Or have a pro do it. Anyway, it's just simply to control the bow in the neck in case your strings are like way too high and you can't adjust the action, which will be in another video, or any video on YouTube will tell you how to do that, how to adjust everything. And I've got those videos too. I'm not going through the setup videos on this one. I will. I do have one for that you can get. And last thing are your tuners. Okay. They call these tuning machines, tuning heads, they call them keys, okay? Tuning keys, tuners, whatever you want to call them, they call them. They meaning the general public, okay? So that's what you've got going on here. I'm just trying to get this off the strap so you can see my tuners in the back. There you go. You turn them one way, the strings get tighter. Turn them the other way, the strings get looser. Okay, that gets us to tuning. We actually have to tune this thing. This is where everybody screws up so badly. This is the hardest part to actually teach, I think, would be the tuning. So, are you guys ready for this? Okay. let me get ready for this and we'll do this deal. All right? All right. Okay, as far as tuning goes, let's look up here and see what's going on. The strings on your bass, now you have to remember this. You notice I have 2 tuners on this side and 2 on this side. A lot of you are going to have all 4 on one side. Some of you will have all 4 on this side. Sometimes they put 3 on this side and 1 on this side. Okay, no matter what you have, always remember which way they have to go on and which way they have to turn. Okay, so the basic rule here is you want the strings to actually go on the inside, and then, you know, when we tighten these up, this will all spin around and it will wrap around here. But this part of the string, you do not want it to come out here, because then you'll have to loosen this to make the string tighter. You don't want to loosen the things. You want things righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Okay, so you want to tighten that and have the sound go up. Get tighter or get sharper. Okay, so everything, no matter where your tuners are, or your tuning machines, or your tuning heads, whatever you want to call them, wherever they're at, you see how they're all going to the post. That's what that's called, the post of the tuner, because that's just a post sticking through there. But it's always going from the inside of the head and then looping around that way. Do not ever put it on the outside. Okay, if it's on the outside, you've done it wrong. I can't tell you how many hundreds and hundreds of instruments I've purchased off of eBay where they're on the wrong side, and that just lets me know that somebody never even got past how to simply put a string on, let alone how to tune their bass. Okay, so that's the way they need to be. Again, if they're all 4 up here, they will all 4 go under it and then loop around. So they'll all be on the bottom side of it. Over here they're going to be on the top side of it, but they're still on the inside of the tuner. Okay, so just the opposite down here, and like these up here. Okay, I'm going to detune one. I'm going to go down to my G string, because I like saying G string, which is going to be my last one, or the skinniest one. This one here on the bottom, and I'm going to loosen it. It'll get so low that it's almost ready to fall off there. It sounds like it needs to go to the bathroom and take care of itself. Okay, now I have a very good feeling that it's not supposed to sound like that. Okay, all yours might, or they might be all over the place. Who knows where yours are at? Okay, now once you tune your instrument, leave it there. Don't sit there and start tuning it all different ways and let it set around, because your instrument's made out of wood and it will warp with any condition changes, temperature, humidity. Leave it tuned. Don't detune it and start turning things just because it's fun. It's a serious instrument and it needs to be kept at certain tension. All these put, over 100 pounds of tension on here, which if, these things break, they could pop an eye out real easy. Okay, so each string I hit definitely have notes to them, so I know this can't be correct, all floppy like that. So I'm just simply going to tighten it up till I get a note of some sort. Okay, now what's going to happen is each note is going to get higher from this one. Okay, so this is going to be where your ear has to start figuring things out. So later on, when your bass is actually in tune, it'll be easier to figure out. The first time you tune it, it's going to suck because you don't know if any of these are in tune. That one's not higher than the last one was, so I have to tune it at least higher to begin with. Okay, I'm letting both of them ring. Now listen to this. They just matched each other, but I have to pass it, so I can keep tightening it. Okay, I don't know where it's going to go yet. Okay, Now what's going to happen is it's time to utilize our tuner, whatever you have. If you have a little guy like this or similar to it, we're going to find something that just says power and turn that thing on. Okay? What's it telling me? It's saying I am an F sharp. Okay, the sharp signal is showing me F, then hashtag or number or the pound sign. It's got so many names, doesn't it now, that little hashtag symbol? And I need to go to G. So I have to go up. I have to tighten it. In the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's as high as we go. But between most of these, we have sharps or flats. And those are exactly the same things. But I'll teach you which ones are which, but they mean the same thing eventually. So that's F sharp. I need to get up to G, so I know I have to tighten it because it's higher in the alphabet. So that's, as long as it says F anything, I have to tighten this. Okay, so now it's showing a G. Hey, I just tightened it till it went right to G. And the green light came on. Now here, see how that red's starting to come on? That string is starting to not be in tune anymore. It's already starting to go flat, which means like somebody loosened it. Okay, whenever you start with a loose string and get it there, you're going to have to do what's called stretching. Happens all the time, especially with brand new strings. But you have to grab a string like this with 2 or 3 fingers and a thumb and just kind of yank on it, not enough to break it, but just yank it around a little bit. Okay, so I did that. Okay, good enough. I put a little bit of force on there. Now let's see where it's at on this tuner. Okay, see how much further it has to go before it gets on that 0? Now I'm going to start tightening it up. Then there it goes. So each time now I'm going to stretch it again. That's what I'm doing right here. Stretch. It will go down. And I'm going to do it again. So stretchy is always a good thing. If you go past it, loosen it. Every time you loosen it, stretch it again. Once it's in the green light, you're good to go. So you tighten it to get to the note, or loosen it to get to the note. Use the alphabet. So if it's higher in the alphabet, tighten it so it goes higher in the alphabet. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you're going to use this or the app on your phone or whatever to get to the notes. What are these notes? Okay, let's get to these notes. You only have 4 strings. Okay, people all over the world tune strings, and that will come later. Let's just learn how to play in standard tuning. Okay, your top string. Just write it down. Okay, that's all you need. Write it down. E. Your next one down. A, like apple. Your next one down. D is in dog. And just where we were just now. G, your G string. Okay? Now here is a quick method for that you will use your whole life. So you want to pay attention here. This is how to tune your bass if you don't have your tuner on you, or if you're just one thing just sounds kind of out and you want to hurry up and get it tuned. Okay, first of all, I will explain how it's done, and I need to also explain to you how to make notes happen. Okay, when we're playing, we're going to use the tips of our fingers, okay, on the neck. We are not going to use the side of our finger. We are not going to use the back of our finger. We're not going to weave it in and out between strings. You are going to build little bridges, okay? So you actually want, this is a good fingering position. Okay, you have your thumb on the back of the neck for support. And you are pinching things together like a lobster or a crab or a set of pliers. Okay, so that's what happens. If you just put a finger on it, you're just going to push it behind you. So you have to have a thumb as a counterweight. So you're pinching the notes. Nobody ever tells anybody this. So you're actually putting force forward with your thumb and force backward. So you're just pinching everything. Okay? I want you guys to go up to the 5th fret, which is your 2nd dot or your 2nd position marker. Okay? If you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here is the huge thing. When you go to actually play a note, let's do it on this on this E string. I want you to use your 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's always going to be that way. Your thumb is for support, nothing else. On whatever hand, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, your thumb is support. Then you have 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd, and 4th. Okay? So your 1st finger on your 5th fret on your E string. Okay? So that means we're not going to go, that means, yeah, 3rd fret is that 1st dot, then 5. So again, position markers are cool. You do not play on top of the fret, that metal thing. You play before you get to it, which is called behind it. If you go ahead of it, we get a fart sound, which is cool, and you'll get many of them. They're fun to play with because what they sound like. Okay, so we need the note at the 5th fret. See where it's at on here? See how I'm pinching it? Yes, I'm pinching it. And I'm making a nice little bridge. Why do I make the bridge? Because there are all these other strings underneath here. They need to be clear of your entire hand. None of these strings can touch them. Why? Because later on we're going to be doing it so we have fingers on every string. Okay? So, just like a guitar player would put fingers on every string, you're going to be busy too. And if you have a finger like this, and you decide to be lazy and lay it out like this, you're going to have one good sound thing, then you're going to hit another note, and it's just going to be clunky as all get out. But it's actually usable in just a moment. I'll show you how that is usable when it comes to muting, when you actually want all these strings to not make any noise, because you don't want to hit one string and have this happen. I know a lot of you have problems with that when you've tried it before. You've written me and told me you don't want that. You're not a guitar player, so you're playing one note at a time for now. Okay? Let's get good at one note at a time, and then we'll get better. Okay? So, 1st finger up to the 5th fret, and tip of our finger, and make a bridge, make an arch, make whatever you want to call it, pinch it. Okay? Play it before the fret, not after. Okay, you don't want it on it either, or you get, see, there's that fart. So before it, and use your fingers. Okay, use whichever finger feels best for you. You can do it like you're walking. Some people use their thumb. You will find many ways. I will teach you many ways. Some people, if you want to, you'll find picks are useful too. They just have a different sound. Some people will not be able to play nearly as fast with their fingers as they can with a pick. Or they will just like the sound of a pick better. Or they will like the sound, a pick cannot sound like this. A pick cannot do that. So know that. When it comes to that funky stuff, a pick cannot even sound like that. It is physically impossible. Okay, we are tuning. So let's say you have your lowest string, meaning tuned down the lowest, your E, in tune, because you had tuned all 4 of these strings at one time, just like I showed you before on the G string. Everything was in tune, but now something's out. Let me get something out. What am I going to get out of string? I'm going to tune my G string again wrong. Okay, I just detuned it. Okay? By detuning it means I went flat or I loosened it. Okay? It could mean I went sharper, but I detuned it. I brought it down. I took tension off. Okay, so we're going to hit this string This is actually called an A note, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But at the 5th fret is how we tune the entire bass. Okay? It's what's called tuning in fourths, and I will go over what that means. Okay? Yes, all this boring stuff. We will get past this very soon, promise. Okay, so you want to hit this note. Now, oddly enough, that's an A. I'm just playing up here so you can see it on the screen. So that's an A note. The string right below it is an A. Why? Because I told you it was, and I wouldn't lie to you. Hear that? So you can hear that A string, see it wobble, see it jiggle. And the note we're playing on the 5th fret of the E string, because of your arch, that A string can ring. If you had your finger down, you get this, but then you'd have that. So quit it. Get it up there. Get it up proud. Stand up, buddy. Okay, so you want both of them to go. See how I'm using a thumb? Go back and forth. See if they sound like the same note, if they're in tune. So you were playing earlier and something sounded wrong. You can check it with the tuner, or you can do it this way. Just go down to the next string, 5th fret. On the A string now, 5th fret. What's that going to be? Well, if you think real fast, you could probably tell me what it is, because it's going to be the name of the next string down. That's right, it's going to be a D, because it's the name of your D string. So that should be exactly like it. See how they're just all in there? Okay, so we don't have to do anything, but I know the next one's going to be wrong. Okay, we went down to the 5th fret right here on the D string now. What should it be? What's that name of that note right there? It should be the name of the next string down, because we are on the 5th fret. Okay, that's the key to the whole bass, is that 5th fret, making sure everything's in tune. So this note, we know, is in tune because everything so far is in tune. So something's wrong, but we know this one's right because we already checked it, and it's tuned here. Now we have, if you listen to the G string with your ear, I'm not using the tuner this time because I already showed you how to use the tuner, and any video anywhere can show you how to use a tuner. I've went over the tuner as much as I care to. Okay. Listen to them. That's a G note. So is it this one, the first one, or the second one that is higher pitched? Meaning the note is higher, going do. It helps if you use your voice. I don't care if you can sing or not. Okay, I'll sit here and look stupid for both of us, okay? Reason being, I use my voice because I can tell if I match my voice to it, if I actually had to sing higher or if I had to sing lower. So don't be afraid to use your voice. That will help you train your ear to hear these things. Because without ever playing anything before, it's just really hard to answer that question. It's just something you haven't done before, so it's like anything. You've never done it. How do you know what the heck is going on? Until somebody like me shows you. So try, if you can, the best you can, to just sing along with it. So that is lower. It's easier to hit, so I don't have to go. So that G string is too low. So I need to tighten it until it matches this one. The best way to do that is a big long stretch up to the tuning key. Okay? And I'm going to hit this one on the D string and the G string at the same time, or one after the other. Then I'm going to reach up here and tighten it. Did you hear how they just matched up? Check it again. Okay, so I'm going to, they're way off now, but I'm just going to reach down and start tightening as both of them are ringing. So we got three things going on. 1, 2. See, they're close. Close does not count. Get them close. And you'll get used to doing that with your ear. So that's how you tune by ear from every string. You can do that, and most people have. Many times they leave their tuner at home, and then back in my days, tuners weren't invented yet, way back when. So everybody walked over to the piano and tried to tune up to that thing, and then everybody tried to say, give me a note, give me an A. And everybody would try to tune up to that, whether it was in tune or not. But okay, so that's how we tune things. Another way to find out if we're in tune is coming up very shortly. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you in 2 seconds how to figure out all the notes on here, okay? These will be for you to work on your own, but I'll get ready to show you how to do that. Okay, so hang on, here comes all the notes on the entire bass. Hey, here's myself again, and we're going to learn all the notes on the bass. Yep, that's how we do it. Now let me tell you this, I'll show you my pretty self. Why? Because it's just that cool. Okay, the thing is, alphabet, that's the way it works. And it is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's all we are concerned with in music. That is it. There are these things called sharp and flat. Okay? And they are, put it this way, the sharp symbol looks like the hashtag or the number sign or the pound symbol. The flat symbol looks like a small B, letter B. You just see it. So you've all seen them, I know you have. If not, Google it, for goodness sakes. Very, very easy stuff here. Okay, but the thing I want to tell you is that if you go through the alphabet in your brain, there are only 2 places in the alphabet where there are no such things as sharps or flats between a couple notes. So you can write them down. It's going to be B and C. There are no sharps or flats between B and C. I know this means nothing, but write it down, please. B and C. And the only other one is E and F. Okay? So there are no sharps. So there's no such thing as a E sharp. There's no such thing as an F flat. You're like, what does that mean? I don't know what this means. I don't know what it means. Quit it. I'll get you there. And if you get real bored with all this stuff, I don't blame you. Skip ahead. Have some fun first. Go do that. Come back and learn this later. Okay? Because if you're not having fun, then go do something else. Come back to this. Go do something fun. Go to where I'm actually teaching you something. Come back and learn this stupid stuff later. I don't blame you. Okay? If you're not having fun, you know, something's wrong. So if you're not having fun right now, go away, learn some stuff, you know, have some fun, play around, skip ahead, skip to the end if you want, skip to the loo, my darling. You can come back and learn this book learning stuff that you only have to learn once in your life, but you'll use it forever. So you have to learn these things. You can't just skip them forever, but you can come back anytime. I wouldn't blame you if you went off and started actually playing. Going from A and doing all this stuff that we have to do, you will have this. Put it this way, if you are going from this A string, that's right, not the low E, but the next one, first fret is going to be A sharp. Okay, so you got A sharp. Okay, when you're moving this direction, okay, and you go up a note, you add the sharp symbol or the hashtag or the whatever to it, the number symbol. So A, go up 1 fret, meaning up, because the tone goes up, or the notes go up, even though it should look like it goes that way going up, it's this way is up. Listen to it, it's going up. If I was going down, It looks like it's going up, but it sounds like it's going down. Okay, so we are going up. So we are going sharp. If we are going flat, we're going the other way. So A, first fret, A sharp. Get ready to look at your paper. Next one is B. Look at your paper. Between B and C, there is nothing. So we just go from B up one more to C. And we're going to keep going all the way. Every string, okay? Just sit tight. After C, we're going to go up again. What's it going to be? C sharp. Since we're moving in this direction the entire time, everything is going to be called sharp. Okay, so you had C on the 3rd fret. 4th fret is C sharp. Guess what? One more up to the 5th fret is our friend, D. Why? Because it's the name of the string underneath it. And they should be in tune. Okay, so you got D. You know your buddy D because you've been there when you were tuning. And I'm going to add one more thing to your tuning here very shortly. Very, very shortly. So you got D. Make sure you're checking your paper. Everything's still cool. Okay. D sharp. That means go up one more. Okay, look at your paper. Are we still okay? Yeah. Okay. Up another one. So up to the 7th fret, we're on E. You better look at your paper now. Okay. E and F. There's nothing between them. Okay? Nothing. So E up to F. So you should be on the 8th fret now. That means an even number, which means there should not be a dot there. And there isn't. Okay, so you're up to F. We're going F up to F sharp. We're getting ready to run out of the alphabet. F sharp. We're going up again. What's that? That's G. We're almost up to the end of the alphabet. I told you we were going to go from A, B, C, D, E, F, G with sharps and flats. We've done that. We've made it up to G. But there's still another guy in there. Yep, G sharp. So G to G sharp. Now remember what I told you earlier? That when you get to the 12th fret, everything starts over again. That's where your double dots are, on the side of your instrument, at least on the side of the neck. Who knows what's there, but it's usually something special. At least 2 dots or something. So when you get up to the 12th fret, it starts over. So you're back to A again. So you went from A all the way up to A. So now you start over again. A sharp, B, B to C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E to F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. I had another double dot up there. You may not. Mine has 24 frets. I've got another bass over there that has 33 frets. Yours may only have 20. That's about normal. 20 or 21 frets is normal. But I like a lot of frets. Okay, real quick. When you're using your tuner, I told you I was going to show you this. For bass guitar, it's very hard for them to pick up bass notes. You know, these open notes that you play. Remember I told you open notes are when you are doing nothing. You're just going, and your hand's not there. There's things called harmonics. If you take your finger and put it directly above the 12th fret where the dots are, double dots, just put it on there so lightly, not behind it like we normally do, not ahead of it, and do not push down. You don't even need your thumb because you want it this soft. But if you're plugged into an electronic tuner, it will actually read better, meaning it will show up better if you use harmonics, which they kind of sound like bells in a way, not bells, but like this. Instead of, it's, okay, they are an octave higher, so it just registers easier, kind of like a guitar. It doesn't like low notes. Tuners are that way. They like higher notes. So you can give them higher notes. You can get these easiest at the 12th fret, and it's the easiest to remember because it's special, because it has 2 dots on the side. Okay, so put your finger directly above the 12th fret. Do not push down at all, just let it rest on there directly above it, and hit it with your finger, and pull your hand away. Do it on the A string, do it on the D string. If you don't, you'll just hear it. Okay, just work on that. It'll take 20-30 times, but then you'll have it for the rest of your life. G. Okay, so it's just directly above them, but just do one at a time. Okay, to separate, yes, I'll get back to all the notes in a second. Somebody was saying, how do I shut up all my strings? This is a good time to kind of show you one of the ways, is to always have other fingers on other strings. So if you're going to be playing like, look at this hand. It's nice to have the palm of your hand on your low string, and then thumb on your A, first finger on your D, middle finger here on your G is a nice grip, and then you just, rest your hand on that low E string, and that shuts everything up so you can tune. See, none of these are making any noise because you have them shut up. Something is on there called muting them. It mutes them, which means shh. So now I just use the finger I need to, and everything else is muted. See, it can't do anything. Next one, and then finally, because I let that up. So use that and it will tune much easier, and it will register the note much longer, so it doesn't like go away because the volume dropped. The tuners will just recognize that a lot easier. Another place that it will do it great is above the 5th fret. It's just harder to make happen. Okay, so those two places will allow you to tune properly. But the 12th fret is the place that will register the best and last the longest. And we will use those later. You'll have harmonics during songs, Yeah, we hit them. Also harmonics. Okay, all these notes. Okay, we have the notes. We've done all the sharps. We haven't done flats. Flats are just the opposite way. Let's go on the same A string. Everything was A sharp, B to C, C sharp, D sharp, E straight to F sharp, G sharp, and right back to A. Okay, for some reason, here it is. Yeah, when you're going the other way, whoever they were when they were making this stuff up, when you're going that way, they like to call them flats. Okay, so people are going to call them all kinds of things, so you have to know what they are, even though they're the same thing. Okay, put it this way. I'm going to play a C sharp. Okay, now I'm going to play a D flat. Exactly the same thing, two different names. Why? Just more junk to confuse you. Okay? But this will make sense because I will make it make sense. Same string, A. Go backward one, A flat. It was a G sharp, now it's an A flat. If we're just heading the opposite direction, they want to mess with you. So flat means subtract one. Sharp means add one. What do you mean, Scott? Well, that means I was on C, so I want C sharp. Add one. Add one what? Add one fret. Go up. Now, if we were on A, and I want A flat, I would minus one. Minus what? Minus one fret, meaning going backward. Okay, if I wanted to add one, I go A up to A sharp. But no, I want to go to A flat. A flat. So I know what to do. If somebody says, I want A flat, you go to A and then you go -1. That's how you find it. So you got A flat, you -1. Go backward. Ah, hey, we're at the end of the alphabet. So now we're to G. Okay, so now we have to think of everything backward that way. So G flat. What's before G flat? It's going to be that F. There's nothing between E and F. Remember, you have it written down, so F, E. Now we go to E -1, E flat. Then E flat -1 is going to be D, because it's our friend. We tune there at the 5th fret, so that's the name of the string underneath us, D. Use these little things I'm teaching you. They're going to help, trust me. That 5th fret position, it's going to really help. It's one of these dots that's going to say, okay, yeah, I know, it's the same name as the string under it if I'm here. So D flat, which means D -1. Now -1 again from D flat, we go down backward in the alphabet to C. What if I say C sharp? Oh, that means add one from C. Now, that is also D flat. Same exact note, C sharp or D flat. Same thing. Who came up with this? I have no idea, but I have to teach it to you because it will be yelled at. Somebody's going to say, hey, let's play in D flat. Okay, no, let's play in C sharp. Exactly the same thing. It's just like having regular printing and cursive writing. Yes, you have to learn 2 different ways to do it, but at least you only have a few letters in the alphabet here. Okay, you only have to go all the way up to G sharp. Okay, C. There's nothing between C and, is there a C flat? No, C and B. So C, flat it to B, and B flat. If you B flat, you need a, see a doctor, so you ain't flat. And then B flat is back to A. Okay, so that's the way everything works. Now just do it on every string until you're sick of yourself. Again, I'm not going to bore you until the end of the world, but please learn these. You don't have to memorize as many as you think because of octaves. What? I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so get ready for octaves. This will be the last thing I show you is octaves before I start teaching you how to actually play. Okay, and again, run over all this stuff as much as you can when you have the time. Okay, so right after octaves, we're actually going to start having some fun. Okay, so hang in there. Okay, so we're going to work on these octave things. What this is going to be are notes that are exactly the same, but they are an octave apart from each other, like the A note, if it's just open, and then if it's up at the 12th fret. And we can play them both at the same time. You're like, how? Check it out. I'll show you how this is, but it cuts the learning time in half. So if you're playing like a C, there's always going to be 1 fret in between that is not anything on it. So we're going to skip a fret and skip a string. Okay. First of all, if you're playing bass and the bass gets too heavy for you, get a wider strap. This is a 4-inch wide strap. Okay, if you got, yeah, there's definitely a difference between guitar and bass straps. In that, yeah, these things will break your back if you use a little skinny guitar strap. So get some padded straps, or at very most, at least get a lot wider strap than anybody else has. These big, wide leather straps, they're not here just to look groovy. They're here to save your back and make your bass, that sometimes can be 12 pounds, feel like it's only 6 pounds. It really takes that much. It's just weight distribution. Okay, that's all it is. So really, trust me on this whole strap thing, because when you get to be 50, like I currently am in this video, yeah, you're hunched over like you're 85 if you actually play bass your whole life, okay? So, something to keep in mind, because it really matters. Okay, let's get this octave thing and then we'll get to playing. But this octave thing is going to be the key to most of your playing. So pay extra attention to this, because you're going to be playing octaves for the rest of your life, and almost on probably every song ever. Yeah, I mean it. It is that common. Okay, let's go to a C note. No, not $100 bill. I know you guys call them Benjamins instead of a C note. Don't forget, I'm 50, kids. So I call things funny things sometimes. Okay, so C. What's the closest thing? You got to think about things kind of like this. What's the closest letter of a string we have that we can get up to? I know I've already lost you, but to the letter C. Okay, we've got a D string. That's close to the alphabet to a C, but we can't go any flatter to get to that C. So we got to get, okay, what's close to C? What do we have? We have E. Is that close to C? Not really. G. That's not even nowhere near C. We have A, B, C. Easy as 1, 2, 3. And there's nothing between B and C. So we got A sharp, B, and C, because there's no B sharp. Okay? So, here's what we have to start doing. Is now we get to start concentrating on what our fingers are actually playing, which ones are doing what. Okay, so you have to get this figured out kind of for yourself, but I will try to help when I remember to. But a lot of this is just personal preference and feeling and whatever works for you. Right now I'm going to be using my first finger, 3rd fret on the A string. Okay, and I'm using my first finger here. Why do I have my thumb resting here on this low E string? I'm calling it an anchor. Plus it mutes that string, so if I hit this, I don't go and play other strings. Okay, remember, I can mute things. Okay, so right now I'm being a bad boy, but in a good way. I'm not arching. I'm putting this down to mute those other strings. I'm not pushing them down. I'm touching them so they won't do nothing. But I have that one pinched, playing the C note. If I hit these other strings, they're not going to do anything. Okay, instead of going. And a lot of you are going to get that. So that's why I'm doing this with an anchor, with my thumb, to shut that string up so I don't accidentally hit it when I go. So now I go. If I didn't have my thumb on there, it'd be. You don't want that. Follow Dr. Groovy. Okay, you don't have to play like that. I just want you to play the C, because we're finding octaves. Okay, again, an octave is you skip a fret, so you play this one. Now you're just not going to play anything on the 4th fret, because we're on the 3rd. So we're going to play something on the 3rd and the 5th fret. But we have to skip a string too. So you're playing this string. So you go down one string, that's not skipping a string, you got to go down to the next string, because you're skipping one. You're skipping a fret, and you're skipping a string. So you have this, skip a fret, go up to the 5th fret, and skip a string. If your fingers are long enough to do that, do it. But you're going to I do it this way. I use my pinky, and it ends up on the G string on the 5th fret. Okay? And that middle string that we do not want to hit has to be muted somehow. So I am collapsing my bridge, but not so much that I'm pushing on it to make a note, just enough to shut it up. Okay, again, this is why bass players always look like this. They are anchoring their thumb on something. Some of them anchor them right here, right on top of a pickup. Sometimes they put a piece of wood on here and screw it in, and they anchor their thumb there. They call it a thumb rest. You may find it that you like, your bass will sound different played up here to back here. So some people actually have this back here, or their find a different place for their thumb. I don't like it there. That ain't bad, but they'll find some place that's good. I just like to rest it on the top string. Okay, octaves. We skipped a fret and skipped a string, so we're on fret number 3 on your A string and fret number 5 with a big old stretch of a pinky, or whatever you want to use. It's up to you. Here on the G string. Now these are both now C notes. You don't have to learn what note that is now. It's going to be the same as this. If we had a C string, so I'm just going 3 frets, then I go past the 12th fret and count 3 more, or look at the first dot past the 12th fret, and I know it's going to be a C because it all starts over there again, doesn't it? Remember I told you that? I told you. Right there, 12th fret, it all starts over again. So if I go to the first dot, just like I am with my C, here's my 12, go to the first dot, that's a C too. It's the same C I'm playing here. Okay, people will use that. Bass players use that all the time. They'll do it at the end of a song. But they're doing it because they know they can get right to it. That's called a slide. You keep it pushed and pinched so hard that it continues to ring. So you only hit it the one time. That's what makes it work. That's what makes it groovy. Okay, so now I'm going to use my first finger, because I've got my thumb anchored, on the A string. Now I'm going to use the next finger, my middle finger, and grab that 5th fret with, on the G string. Okay? Try to do just that. And not hit any other strings. If you do hit another string, it shouldn't be making any noise because you've got the other ones muted. And you'll always have to be aware if you hear that junk, quit it. Get back and correct your actual way of playing. You will constantly have to be checking yourself. If something sounds wrong, fix it right away. So correct your method of playing. Okay, the way I'm shutting these up, like that, instead of letting it go, and they just keep on ringing like that, I go, is you have to shut it up. You have to mute all the time. Between every note, it seems you have to mute. You will be conscious of every muting technique at first. Then it will become natural, like riding a bike. Okay? It's just the way things work. So we have to go, if you take your finger not off of it, but just past. See, if you let loose of it real slow, you get the fart. Okay, but just let it up until it's barely touching the string, and it will shut up. And same thing here. So it don't matter if I take it on or off, I'm still able to mute it by fingers down here too. You can mute it on both ends. But you notice that it looks like the Yellow Pages ad or the Running Man. Hey, it almost sounds like we're getting ready to play, don't it? By golly, check this out. All octaves, folks. Or everything there is octaves. So you're playing one note, then just following it like an echo with an octave. Or you can actually grab them like a claw again, play both of them at the same time. They have 8-string basses, which will have a little string like this right next to that one. And you can do it all just by playing the two strings that are right next to each other. That's a whole different ball game, but okay. So now that we have octaves here, the best thing for you to do to practice octaves is to learn your notes. This is a real thing that I want you to do. I want you to leave out the sharps or flats or whatever. I want you to start here on the A string, and then I want you to go to the low E string. But I want you to go all the way up as high as you can doing octaves, but without hitting any sharps or any flats. Okay? And you can do it from anywhere. If you want to do it open, do it on the A. Let's do it on the A because you need it. A, open string. Then skip one, and then the next one. Okay, so you have A, B, because there is no B, A flat, or I'm sorry, A sharp or B flat. So leave out the sharps and flats. Okay, then that will teach you where all your regular notes are at. This is a very good exercise, don't miss it. A, B, with octaves. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, so we did them all. So we did an entire octave's worth, which means from A all the way back to A again. Okay, so try to do that. This will teach you your notes really quick because you're learning two notes at the same time because you've got two different strings going. So that's a C, and that's a C. D, E, that's an E. F, F. Okay, and all the way up, G, G, A. Okay, so you're cutting your learning time in half. Groovy. So same thing on the low ones. Low E, then skip a string, skip a fret. So now we have one at the second fret on the D string. I'm sorry, yeah, on D. So there's E, E. Now it's different because it's E to F. There's no sharps or flats. Look at your paper. F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Then try it backward. Yeah, you're starting to hear songs in there like Devil Went Down to Georgia. Okay, that's how this stuff starts to work. So that is your exercise with octaves. One other thing in the octaves, there's something called a fifth. Okay, this is some theory that will come later. I've got a video I really want you to get. It's called Bass Theory in Improvising and Solos and all this stuff. But that will teach you the stuff. A fifth, for now, since I'm not going to explain theory because you don't need it now, is simply if you are playing a C note, a fifth will be the note that is either directly above it. So here, okay, so as long as you have a string above it, up this way towards your chin. So here's the C, and here's what's called the fifth. Okay, this here's going to be called the root, the key the song is in. Okay, that's all explained elsewhere too, and not on this video. I will do a little bit of what key we are in, but say we're in the key of C, that means just where you hang out. The whole song hangs out in C. Even though you move other places, you'll always come back home to C. This here is country stuff that is needed to find out how to play everything else in the world. Okay? That's called the root. That's your C. Here's a fifth. Straight above it. So you could go. But check it out. You got an octave. C. So you know, right above it. What do you know? The fifth. Then, now this is very important. Look at all the stuff you can find in this. This is going to make or break you right here. This is where I am going to put you light years ahead of everybody on the first lesson. Okay? After this, we're going to start playing. But this right here is going to be what honestly propels you ahead, and everybody's going to can't believe you just did this all off one video. So you have your C and your fifth. So root fifth. But we can also root fifth, okay, an octave above, because we know how to do octaves. Or, so we can go with both strings at the same time. But what I want to teach you is you can go, okay, so you can actually go to all these notes as long as you end up back home on C. What? Yeah. Now the fifth. Now the big octave. Back to the fifth. Back to the root, the low root. Now the fifth. So you got a root, a higher fifth, which is an octave of this fifth. Okay, so it all ties together. So I'm using my pinky to go over both notes. Or you can use two fingers like this. Okay, so put that there. Put your third finger on the D string, fifth fret, and then put your pinky directly below it so you have something that looks like this. That's called a chord, meaning you have a few notes going at once. A root, a fifth, and another root. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. Check it out. I'm just pushing down now, clamping with this finger. Yes, you do get to use this. It's not all about muting. So much lying underneath here. Because I'm pushing down all the strings, so when you let off of either one of these, you've got a note. So I'm just playing. Okay? Notice what else I'm doing? I'm using all my fingers, my thumb. Look at that. That's a beautiful thing to catch if you haven't caught it yet. I'm going down with my thumb, up with the middle finger, and up with the first finger. Try to learn this. Remember I told you to learn all your stuff? Try this. See where there's getting to be a whole lot of stuff that most bass players just don't even know yet, and you're already ahead of them. And again, if you push down and do what is called a hammer-on, you have these all pushed down, like I told you not to, because they're supposed to be like this and create a thing. But if you do push them down, and you take a note, hit it, like say on your octave thing, because that's pushed down, it's actually making a note. Slam your pinky down where it's supposed to go, and then you have what's called a hammer-on. You're hammering your finger on, but that's what it's called. You play it one time, and then hammer it on. See my finger down here? It only hits it once, but you're hearing two notes. That's an advanced thing, but work on it. Same with the other one. going to get you to playing, okay? So get ready, because I'm going to use all that and more, okay? And this is where it gets fun, but at least you're actually going to know what you're doing. And you can jump ahead so quickly once I show you this next part. We're actually going to start playing now. Hang on to your skivvies. Okay, time to play. Real quick, some things that you always need to know, and don't fall for them right off the bat, because people will try to sell you snake oil. You know what that basically means. It's just stuff you don't need and stuff that don't work. No matter who you talk to, they're just trying to sell you stuff. When it comes to polishing, don't use anything, just good old spit or just good old tap water on a rag and clean off your instrument. Same with all the junk that gets on here. They'll try to sell you different oils and all that stuff. It ruins your stuff. No matter what anybody tells you, no matter what you read, it's just trying to get money out of your pockets. So just regular, just a little bit of water on a rag. Use that. Do not buy polish of any kind, ever. Do not buy anything as far as cleaning or what they would call conditioning your neck or the fretboard, they sometimes like to call this, or the fingerboard, until they actually put frets on it. Then it's a fretboard, which is just a board with frets on it. Don't fall for it. Water, water, water. Not much. Just put your finger on a rag. Here's how you do it, kids. Okay, I'm saving you a lot of money and saving your instrument. Okay, just take a rag. It don't matter what it is, just so it doesn't have anything on there that will scratch your finish. You know, do that old thing where you put your finger in there, dip it in a little water, and just go on there, and then use the dry side to make it same thing underneath your strings and all that junk. So that is all there is to that. Do not buy polish, do not buy oil, do not buy anything at all. Okay? Water. That's all you need. I can't stress that enough. You can easily ruin an instrument. Your frets will fall out. All kinds of things will happen. It's just like eating nothing but candy and your teeth fall out. Put a bunch of oil and stuff on your fingerboard and your frets. They will pop out. It's just what it does. But the companies that make this stuff, they'll sell it to you. If you'll buy it, they'll sell it to you. So, ask Dr. Groovy. He knows everything. I didn't spend my whole life doing this to not know things. Now let's get you playing. I bet you're almost playing as it is. Okay? Now we're going to use my drummer friend here in just a second. Again, you can get drum beats anywhere off the internet or from me, or you can use what I'm using. I'm using a pedal called a Beat Buddy. I get a stand on it and I can push it again. I can end it. It's a beautiful thing. Every kind of music you want, add a finger, metal, Latin, jazz, and different kinds of it. You can do everything you want. It's a beautiful thing, this Beat Buddy. Awesome. Can't recommend that enough. Anyway, that's what I'm using. That's what I will always use in these videos. And I'll show you that. I've got, you know, there's millions of reviews online and on YouTube and everywhere. Okay, let's get down here to where we're playing. Yes, I'm an amazing cameraman. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay. Okay, so we're playing. Do we want to go somewhere else? I like that C. You know, you can play anywhere else you want. It's just easily on the camera. Or G. Let's go to G, just because you've been in C all day. Okay? So now we got G. That takes your root away above you, though. I mean your fifth, I'm sorry. So you even say that. There's your root. So we're in the key of G now. Okay? I'll move the camera up just a little bit. Why? Because I'm just that lame of a camera guy. Okay, so G. Now our fifth is up here. And our octave is there. And the fifth. Okay? I'm going to show you another thing just to get you playing like crazy and freaking people out. Okay, if you have the opportunity like you do now, which is making me glad I chose G. So you have G, and we know this is a D because that's how you tune. Okay, so G, now you're fifth, now you're octave. So you have 3 notes that you know you can play. I don't want you to always play them like this. Go from here to here to here. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. I showed you what a hammer-on was. That's when you hold one note and then you hit it once with your hand down here. Then you hammer a note down on somewhere else. Okay, if you're in G, you have your root, your fifth, your octave. Now this here's going to be called your third. You have a root, a third, and a fifth, and a chord. That is music theory. A full major chord. You have a root, a fifth. Here's another root. It don't matter how many of each one you have. You can have 2 roots, like we do here, octaves. So 2 G's. This one is your fifth, because I told you it was. That's your D note. So G, D, G. Now I'm going to do back 1 fret and down 1 string. That's called a third. That is actually a B note. Okay, so that is your third. If I was to play this entire thing, it would be a huge, full, major chord. If you're ever going to play stuff like this, I mean, that's how it looks. Play it more towards the bridge, because up here it sounds horrible, but if you're going to be ever doing anything like this, which you probably won't right now, but you recognize this stuff. Okay, the hammer-on part I'm talking about is simply going to be getting to this third. Again, that's theory, it's in another lesson, but I want you to kind of have an idea what's coming up later. So root, fifth, octave, which is still a root, but octave, because it sounds cool. Now third, okay, and hammering onto that third sounds very cool. Just 1 fret back and hammering on. That's it. And then following it with the note that was in the octave. Okay? Okay? Or you can do this. So you have this. When we were playing before, you have your octave and your third. Take that whole thing, like your fingers are glued together, take it all back 1 fret. So you're taking both strings and both notes, flat them, and go hit them together. Use the back of your fingernail and move them both at the same time like they're glued together. It's a very common thing that bass players do. Okay, you're like, what's the other stuff? Well, we'll get to it, trust me. Okay, and let's get to it now. You saw that? Okay, let's fill it in because we're going to play. Okay, we're going to fill in the box. Okay, boxes are going to be cool shapes. I'm going to show you just a few of those, but you're going to be ready to pretty much be so far ahead of the curve after I show you these boxes. Okay, you already have your box, which means your root, your fifth, your third, your root, your fifth, and your octave. That creates a box. Boom, boom, boom. But we need some more over here. Okay, so now we just need to finish. You can use all these 2 notes that were straight below the root now. Okay, I want you to use hammer-ons. These are huge. or you can play the notes. Either way, whatever works for you and whatever works for your fingers. If you want to use a pick, I'll show you that in a second. But here is your first box. You're going to start with a G and you're going to end with a G, which is your octave. Okay, hammer on. So you just went down one string to your C, and you hammer on. Or play both. So you're going to do the same thing on both strings going down. Okay? Here's a great way to do it. Play the root, the octave, then okay, that is showing you that you can stop. This is called phrasing. This is where you make up stuff that you hear in your head. Okay, so it can go or okay, so you can stop anywhere you want. You just come back home to the root. Otherwise, fly. You don't have to go up and hit that note, just you can stop. And then just come back home. Okay, so you have these notes. And that is your box. So then 3, 5, 3, 5, meaning 3rd fret, 5th fret. Third, okay, I'll be doing this a lot and really fast because you can go backwards. We have the technology. I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff at you real fast. We're going to play with the drums and I'm out of here. Okay, but I'm going to leave you with a whole bunch of stuff right now, really quickly. Your boxes. Okay, get ready, kids. So root, octave. Now we're going to hammer onto our 5th, hammer onto our octave. Sound cool? And then we take that 3rd, but we go the slide I showed you. Okay, those are just cool to throw in. Why does that sound different? Because I'm slapping and popping and funking. I have videos for that too. Okay, it's a whole different sound if you do that. And I know that excites some of you. Some of you don't like that stuff, but that's later. Okay? Again, that's called popping and slapping and all that stuff. Whole different sound, just like using a pick. Doesn't sound like either one of these that I'm doing with my fingers. Okay, that's box 1. So root, octave, hammer on to the 5th, hammer onto the octave. That little fun thing with the 3rd and sliding into the octave at the same time. You're flattening the octave and flattening the 3rd if you want to be correct by saying the correct terms. So you flat the octave, flat the 3rd, and then slide into them. The other ones are hammer-ons. Hammer on to the 5th, hammer on to the octave. And don't just stick with what I gave you. Play with it. That's why it's called playing. Okay, now do not be afraid to fill in your box. Listen to it, see if you like it. Oh, what are you doing? Playing the notes in between. It's getting better, huh? Now it's starting to sound like music. Okay, so we filled in our box. Box 1 is done. Fill it in. That's a full box right there. Okay, you're like, oh no, what was that? I actually finished the box by closing the lid. Because we did this, that means we can go here. We can also go here. But you have to get out of there and back home. That's the octave or the root, okay? So I went, and then the hammer on. That's very cool. Check that out. The whole time you're having problems, I know, with muting things, and that's your problem. Sorry to say, but you have to get over muting things to make them sound this cool. You're like, what song is this? It's not. Again, I'm teaching you to fish. Okay? It will come together. You have to have all the tools first. I'm giving you so many tools you can't believe. Most people don't even get this far in their lifetime that you're seeing right now. And we're just starting with the first box in one key, in the key of G. We haven't even switched chords yet from G chord. Okay, I'm going to give you the next box. This is a whole different concept than what you have done. Okay? We're going to start by, we're playing backward out of the box. We're actually doing these same 3 frets that we covered every note, except for on the low E string. We did the other 3 strings, we covered everything. We established that you could play everything, plus the root, but now everything else is safe. Oh, what's that? The rest of your next box. Okay, so we're going to keep our box here. We're just going to make our box into a rectangle. And we're going to add these frets. Okay? Okay, so I want you to get this G going, but with either finger, your pinky or your ring finger. I like the pinky. Follow me. Yeah, drop down 2 frets. And you can either fill it in, or you can just here it is filling in. Okay? So now we're starting to do something. Now you can do that same thing an octave higher. What do you mean, Scott? Start on the G, octave. It's the same thing we were already doing. We're just an octave away from what we were. Octaves, I told you how important they are. So, because you can do it here. Don't forget, you can do same thing. It's nothing new, you've already done it. You were just up here doing it, an octave above. We're just stretching the box out now. Keep that one to yourself. Okay, so this is very cool for that low ride stuff. Okay, so if you can make a gallop, you can almost use act like you got a pick, but just use your back of your fingernail. Just hold it like you have a pick. Just these are ghost notes. Boom, click, click. Boom, click, click. Meaning this. You're actually making clicks. Ghost notes. You make percussive sounds, but no actual notes are played. Okay? Click, click. Boom, click, click. You'll hear it in Barracuda by heart and all kinds of things, but it sounds like a galloping horse. Boom. Song by Sweet called Ballroom Blitz. Listen to it. I know these are old songs, but classics. Oh my God, what's that? That's reaching in our new box. There's our box. Let's do it. So, that. We're going F to G. Just the back door of our box. Now we do the same thing. Now we're going to take that and creep into our old box. Sliding up. That's our fifth. Then, same thing as here. Just an octave. See, I told you that octave was everything, so that's everything we need. Okay. Again, 1, 3, next string, 1, 3, slide into 5, next string, 3, 5. Now 5, 3, 4, 5. Forwards and backwards. There's so much stuff in the backward part. Okay? Play with it. That's why it's called playing. It's not because there's so many rules. It's because you get to play inside the boxes. And now we can play in. Remember we did this? When we filled in the box? Hey, fill it all the way in. How cool is that? Okay, that's another thing bass players are great at. Get down to that low note and let it roll off. Just slide on down. Okay, that one's always good. Just grab whatever your root is. And your general thing when you go to do those, that's actually called a gliss. It's used on pianos too when they're going G-L-I-S-S. People usually go for the root again, which is what they're thinking in their mind, trying to get from this G to that G. Okay, that's the most musically correct way to get it. But if you're not looking down, just go for it. And if you miss it, who cares? Just get the... Okay, again, you don't have to use all these notes. Sometimes less is more, but you have more power than you know right now. Because it's just a matter of what you play now. Okay, as long as we are in the key of G, you have so much going on for you that you can play anything. Check this drum machine out. I'm just going to make up stuff. You watch and look for familiar stuff. Okay? Because you know every one of these. I don't know what I'm going to play yet. I'm just going to play in G. Okay, so that's nothing that you don't know already. Notice how I did the octaves. You can even go all the way down to the E. If you can squeeze it in, squeeze it in. Okay, now boxes, they're groovy. Now learn to color outside the lines. That's your job too. Come up with your own stuff. Not everything has been thought of. Yeah, there's only like 12 notes in the entire world. It's just a matter of what you do with them. Okay? This is basically the lesson. You have more info than anybody has ever got in one lesson. And there are so many places you can take this. I'm going to spend the rest of this lesson showing you how to think musically. Okay? Now when you are basically putting a song together, the majority of them are going to be this, what is called 1-4-5s. Okay, you have your root or your 1. We know your 5th is here, your 5. Your 4 is actually straight down from your root. And then 5, 4, 1. What this is all about is that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, that stuff. So it's this. This is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's where I'm getting 1s, 4s, and 5s. Is 1, 2, 3. Here's our 4. I was telling you that. 4. Here's our 5th, our 5. 6, 7. Now 8 equals 1. That's an octave. Then 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So everything you're doing in G now that I just showed you. I showed you all that. I am really working inside the box. Check that out. That's a cool one. Ain't that cool? Yeah, I'll do it real slow. You learn it. Okay? I know you can. That's it. And the timing. So it's just all over the place like that. What I was getting ready to say is the root is in G, then the 4, and then the 5. Then back to the 4, and then back to the 1. Write that down. 1, 4, 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. Okay? It could be any way, but a lot of songs I'd say 80% of the songs in the entire world are played with 1, 4s, and 5s. What's that mean, Scott? That means the root, so whatever key the song is in, G for this thing, then C, when the band actually changes chords, then they'll go back to the G, then up to the 5, the D. But those boxes move with you. The boxes never change shapes, ever. So once you learn your boxes that I've taught you, this is just a start, kids. Those boxes move with you. So you're in G. Okay, now when we move to the 4, now we're in C. You're like, what do I do? Everything you've already done. Don't change it. Then G. Now you go to D, C, G, up to 5. You hear music now? Okay, so it's the same boxes. You just take them with you and just move the box from here to all this. Now you go to 4. And the big box there. If you want to put in those high notes, start the C up here. You mean, what do you mean? G, G sharp, A sharp, B, B to C. Now play here, same thing. It's no different than what you're doing in a G. It's exactly the same. That's the beautiful thing about bass guitars. Those boxes are always there. It's just a matter of, are you playing the 1 or the 4 or the 5? Where is the chord? Where are the chords? What are they? There's generally only going to be 3 or 4 in any given song. But those boxes are there. It's just how much of this stuff do you use? Sometimes, again, it will just simply be this. And I have to teach you this and one other thing. And I have to get out of here for this one. You have to be married. Yep, no matter how old you are, you have to be married to the bass drum in the song. You have to play whatever the bass drum plays. Your ear has to pick it out. You can play more than what is in there, but do not play less than what is in there. Okay, listen to this. This first example has, listen to the bass drum. I'll point them out. Boom, boom. So it could be as simple as this. Okay, so you see what I mean? It has to be that note. You have to be dead on the one time. Boom, boom, boom. You have to be playing the root note. Okay, usually the root note. You are the artist, you paint this sucker. Okay, and when you go to figuring out stuff, you'll have a better idea of what they're playing and why they're playing it. They're following the bass drum or the kick drum. They're called the same thing. Okay, while I'm down here, I'm just going to change it by 1, meaning I'm going to the exact same thing, but I'm going to change the bass part or the kick drum part by 1 beat. So it's going to play 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Listen. Big intro. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Listen. Boom. so you have to go boom, 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 boom. Okay, that could be also interpreted as boom, boom, boom. Octave fifth. Okay, so you have to play boom, boom, boom. So it could be boom, 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 or boom, boom, boom. Okay, so it's just up to you or what the song needs, but it has to have those two hits. One hit and then two hits. You have to be married into what is going on. So you have to really, 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 really listen to what is going on with that bass drum. Okay, again, here's just something. Okay, I'm following that boom, 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 boom. I'll get used to it, and then I'll add something just because I can. But sometimes the more you add, the more it takes away from everything else, because everybody else, if you're in a band anyway, is trying to play something too. So sometimes the best thing you can do is just, hold down the fort. You are the foundation. So sometimes the best thing you can do, which is usually the best thing you could do, is just be solid. Work on being solid first. This is solid. That is being solid and not doing too much, but just holding down the fort, man. That's the song. Everything else is just embellishment. If you're going to play in a band situation, people will designate to you the drummer. You and him better get along if that's going to be your thing. If you're not going to be in a band, then disregard this, but listen to it for how songs are put together. You guys have to be friends no matter what, and he will let you know when it's going to be time to let the rhythm section, you two, actually have a little fun. Play with your box a little more. Play both your boxes a little more. Okay, you see where I'm going. You can be more free within there and tell the guitar players and stuff to be the foundation, the root. You and the drums want to add something in there because it will take the song somewhere else. It'll give it a different feeling for a little bit until everybody determines to go back to what they call like the A section, which is usually a verse, the B section, which is a chorus, and the C section, which is usually a bridge, are what they are called. And that's the way all this works, kids. So I hope you have learned a ton, because for a beginner lesson, that is nuts. Okay? That is incredibly nuts. I am going to sit here and look pretty. No, actually, I'll give you a view of what's above me. I'm going to let that particular drum pattern play. The bump, 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 for, 3 to 5 minutes, just to give you something to play along with. Otherwise, go download some stuff. You can get the 60 tracks I put together for $4 on a download. Or I can send you a disc with them. They're all around. Just ask, or just go to the site, or go to eBay and get them, whatever. But anyway, here's your track. Thanks so much for everything, and get all the other bass lessons whenever you're ready, or before you're ready. You can see how far I'm going to take you already. Nobody will get you there like this. And hey, I hope you dig having me as a teacher. That's the biggest thing, is finding the right teacher. So hope it clicks for you. It's always pleasure on this end because I enjoy talking to myself. I am Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy, and that's Groovy. There's no E in there. At groovymusiclessons.com. I hope you love this. You can get them there. You can get these on eBay, very easy. And there'll be links right below for both. So play well and grab some more lessons. Again, there are going to be tons. So have fun. Here comes that drum track. Alright, that's us. Hope you had a blast. Guys, mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Rock on. Okay? Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.